Hey guys, in this video, I'm gonna share with you how to avoid using an extractor by using the Tornador. And we're gonna talk about how I get better results actually with the Tornador doing upholstery rather than reaching for an extractor. Now, what I'm working on here is what I would call older upholstery. And so what I mean by older upholstery is this type of upholstery is just like newer upholstery where it's got that spongy interface underneath this and the cloth on top. But this material on top is not like this really tight knit fabric where when it gets a spill on it, it's really difficult to remove, because this type of upholstery has these fibers that in some sense stand up like this, like regular traditional carpeting. And so when you're cleaning this, you're kind of pulling the spill or pulling the dirt out from in between those fibers. The newer modern upholstery is this like really tight rat's nest that honestly almost always requires an extractor because it's not going to come out with anything else. So what I'm going to do is spray this bottom seat with my P&S interior cleaner. And this is what many detailers would default to if they were just cleaning and detailing on a regular basis. The reason why I'm showing you how to use a Tornador to avoid this is because using the Tornador is way less work than pulling out the extractor. And like I said in other videos, most detailers I see on social media don't really use the Tornador in a way that I think works in real life. So this is a real life scenario of how it makes a lot of sense to use a Tornador rather than an extractor. So we're just gonna deal with this seat alone. I'm gonna scrub in kind of a crosshatch pattern like this. And then we're gonna take the extractor to this seat. I'm gonna take my microfiber, mop it up just like this, and then we'll come in and just take a quick little peek. So you guys can see this seat looks really fantastic. And when I come in, it's a little bit of a shadow, but you guys can see that the seat looks, well, perfect, right? Let's move on to the Tornador, because why am I telling you this? Well, the reality is when you're dealing with older upholstery like this, oftentimes pulling out an extractor is not just cumbersome, but it's also something that increases the risk of you actually creating more work for yourself through things like wicking, because you're introducing so much liquid into the equation. So if I can do this without pulling out some big machine, and again, I'm using a small extractor here for the sake of the video, but without pulling out some big Mighty or Aqua Provac or some other big extractor, heating it up, waiting for that to happen, right? It just slows down in terms of my systems, all that efficiency that I'm trying to introduce. So let me show how I use the Tornador professionally to save a lot of time in this scenario. Now I'm on the other side here, and this side is actually far more dirty than the other side was, okay? So there's a good actually scenario here because we've got not only a stain that's kind of like wicked right here, but we've got a lot of dirt and all that sort of stuff. So how am I gonna treat this versus the other piece of upholstery here? Well, first things first, I can quickly blow off this seat so that I don't have any of this loose dirt sitting on it, and I can wipe it off. Now I'm not even vacuuming this because I'm making this kind of like an extreme scenario here. I'm gonna go ahead and address the entire seat just like I did last time. I might take my cleaner a little more specifically to this wicked stain right there and these really dirty pieces. Then I'm gonna take my scrub brush on this piece right here that was wicking back and forth in a crosshatch pattern. And note that when I'm doing this, I'm gonna create a much larger circle around the stain that has kind of wicked up, because that stain is gonna try to crawl into other areas of the upholstery. So if I can just get kind of a big diameter here, it's gonna decrease the probability that it shows back up, which is part of also why I'm doing the entire seat. And again, remember my point here is to not introduce an extractor and therefore a lot of water. I'm gonna take my microfiber towel, I'm gonna mop up. I might wanna grab a dry microfiber towel after this just because working with a totally dry towel makes dealing with upholstery a lot better. Now I'm gonna switch to the water and air section of my Tornador. I'm gonna very carefully go over the area in its entirety, but specifically the area that has been wicked over here and these dirty areas here. Now we'll come in and quickly look at the after, and you guys saw I was drying with a car blow dryer, like the Milwaukee cordless blow dryer. One of the things you can do to help avoid wicking is actually try to get kind of a quick flash dry, not completely, but just take what's wet and make it damp really, really quickly, and that almost eliminates 100% of wicking if it ever happens again. So you can see the stain used to be like right there, that wicked stain, it's now gone. And then any of that dirt that was right here that had stained there, kind of that mud is gone. And you can see the entirety of the seat looks really fantastic. So why do I share this with you? Well, because it took me literally half, if not a quarter of the time to address the second seat with the Tornador and get the exact same results as the first time, okay? So this is how you introduce some serious efficiency into your detailing business, simply by choosing the right tool. To be honest with you, the Tornador is only something I reach for like 5 to 10% of the time, but when I do reach for it, it makes me seriously fast and it gets me really, really good results. So it's a tool that I think is definitely worth having, but just understand it's something I use the minority of the time. But you can see in a situation like this, it literally cut my time in half, if not even more than that. And so again, when you're dealing with upholstery and specific problems with upholstery that a lot of detailers really suffer with, things like wicking or just dirt and stained areas on difficult to address upholstery, you can see how just a simple strategy change all of a sudden got me not only amazing results, but really fast results, and I completely avoided pulling out an extractor. So a lot of detailers love their extractors. They want to get one as soon as they can. And the reality is, in my day-to-day business, I try to avoid touching that tool as much as possible. So guys, if you extracted some value from this video, make sure to hit the like button so that I know, because the more likes this video gets, the more, of course, I understand I can keep making content like this. And if you're confused in the detailing business because there's so many products and tools out there, you're trying to figure out only just the bare minimum of what you need, I've got a top 12 tools and products list that I'll hook up for free in the YouTube description box below, so you can grab that there. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And from Luke here at Wilson Auto Detailing, keep working hard. Thanks for being involved, and I'll see you guys in the next video.